This is a story between a poor boy and a group of rich people. A maid lived in a humble house near the master's villa. She was a single mother who lived with 4-year-old son. Every day she finished working early and went back home to accompany kid. One day the master invited a group of well-dressed guests for dinner. And asked maid, "Could you go home a little later today?" The maid said, "Sure, but my son would be afraid to be alone in the house." "You can bring him here," replied master. The maid was stunned by the unexpected reply. Obviously, she didn't want her son to come here, but no better way. As she worried about the son was unsafe at home alone. So ran home and took him toward the villa. On the way, son asked mom, "Where are we going?" Mom said, "Take you to a dinner party." The boy's eyes shone with excitement when he heard mother's answer. He believed there would be lots of delicious foods and tasty juices at the dinner. The dining room was crowded with guests, which made the maid felt uneasy. She didn't want her son to ruin the happy atmosphere. Even didn't want he knew the difference between master and maid, rich and poor. She tried to find a suitable place to hide him, but no. An idea suddenly popped into her head. There were 2 bathrooms in the villa, one for master, one for guests. She determined to hide son in the master's bathroom. Then the maid took the child into the bathroom and closed the door quietly. She pointed to the toilet in the bathroom, said softly, "This is a separate room for you, look. This is a stool." Then she pointed to the marble sink, told son, "This is the table." With these words, she pulled out 2 sausages bought on the way home, from the pocket of apron. Put them on a plate and whispered, "It's all yours, mom has some work to do. Stay here, don't go out, okay?" Son nodded head to mom. The maid felt owed son too much because she hadn't bought him any snacks for months. Her husband died of illness 2 years ago, in order to provide a better living condition for son. She tried to save money and had to live frugally with son. Maid strove to hold back her tears and closed the door. As the boy was brought up in poverty and never seen such a luxurious house, let alone a bathroom. He didn't know the flush toilet and the beautiful marble sink. The bathroom was filled with the smell of shampoo, that made him feel very cozy. He took up 1 sausage and bite gently, afraid to eat it all in one bite. When the dinner started, the master suddenly remembered the maid's son. He came into the kitchen and asked the maid. But she said evasively that the kid maybe run out to play. Master knew she was lying, so searched in the house slowly. After a while, he followed the sound of singing and found the boy in the bathroom. At that moment when he opened the door, he saw a little boy was putting a piece of sausage into his mouth, wore a dirty and tattered t-shirt. Master was gazing open-mouthed by the scene. Crouched down and asked in surprise, "What are you doing here, kid?" The boy was scared by the sudden man's appearance. "I come here for a dinner party, and now I'm having dinner," boy replied nervously. "Geez, don't you know where you are?" Master puzzled. The boy said warily, I know the master prepared this room just for me." "Your mother told you that, right?" Master asked. "Yes, in fact, I also know the master will be prepared the best room for me. Mom told me the master is a good man." Then he pointed sausages and said, "I want to share the sausages with you, it's so boring to eat alone." The master felt a pang of sadness when heard the words coming out of the kid's mouth. He had known everything, and returned to the table, told all the guests that he couldn't accompany them for dinner today, had to accompany a special guest. After saying that, he took 2 plates from the table, and came to the door of the bathroom and knocked politely. After got the boy's permission, he opened the door and put 2 plates on the toilet lid. Then turned to say, "What a nice room. Let's have dinner together." That night, the master chatted with boy about many interesting things. The boy convinced this bathroom was the best room in the villa. They ate and sang a lot in the bathroom. Meanwhile, the guests knocked the door constantly and greeted to the boy. And they handed him tasty apple juice and grilled chicken wings. They all showed exaggerated and envious expressions on their faces. They huddled together singing in the bathroom with boy. Everyone was so serious that none of them thought it was a farce. The little boy felt himself to be the most honored guest in the world. After the end of dinner, the group gave the maid a lot of money before they left. Years later the boy grew up. He had his own company and bought a big house with 2 bathrooms. He entered the high society and became a rich man. He donated a large sum of money to some orphanages every year. And kept writing to the orphans with words of encouragement. But he never appeared at the donation ceremony, which confused his friend. He said, "I always remember many years ago. A group of unnamed rich men carefully maintained the self-esteem of a boy. They didn't ridicule my poorness but encouraged me. It is a spiritual food throughout my childhood, not just a great meal. It helped me shake off inferiority and understand a profound truth. Never look down on yourself. You may be poor now, but never ceases to be ambitious." A well-known proverb. One kind word can warm 3 winter months, an acute word cuts deeper than a sharp weapon. Self-esteem is innate for humans. Adults have, the children too. The rich have, the poor too. Leaders have, the employees too. But in life, adults, the rich, leaders often show off authority, wealth, hierarchy to hurt the latter dignity. Although it may be an unintentional act, but that is very annoying. And maybe sow a seed of hatred in someone's mind. Which probability of causing conflict in the future? Not everyone is born in a rich family. The vast majority of people who have a hard time. Do not look down on anyone. Every dog has its day. Today's bosses may be the tomorrow's bankrupts on the streets. The sidewalk beggars also have the time to come up in the world. Everyone should accumulate good karma for vulnerable people, which maybe help yourself someday.
Welcome to Progress Day by Day. It's my pleasure to share with you these stories of life wisdom and business finance. Thanks for your watching and comments.